Hello, my name is Craig Savage, but you can call me Doc. Welcome to another episode of Real World Analytics, What Schools Don't Teach You, the Coffee series. And so this is, again, a bit different from my full series where this is informal. I'm drinking a cup of coffee and I'm going to discuss a topic. Today's topic is going to be a little odd. I'm visiting a friend in the United States, and in honor of him, I'm going to talk about data analytics from the point of view of theology. So if you'd like to hear what I think about that and you want to go and get yourself a cup of coffee or another beverage, hit that pause button and I'll wait as long as you'd like. So first of all, when I say theology, I don't mean religion, so I'm not going to be talking about my religious beliefs, anyone else's religious beliefs, whatever. But one of my big hypotheses is that when you're in school and you're learning something, not only are you learning a collection of facts, but you're also learning a certain way of thinking. And since I'm visiting my friend here in the US, I asked him from his education, he has a PhD in theology, what were the soft skills that he learned? And it took him a minute to understand exactly what I meant by this soft skills question. And then he came up with a couple different things, the first one of which was kind of how to follow an argument. And this can be very helpful as a data analyst because as an analytics professional, you're used to mathematics and code and algorithms and everything else, and the ability to construct them all and verify that these steps are correct. Again, if you're looking at code, that's kind of the final arbiter as to exactly what you're doing. But if you want to create an argument about why you're using certain algorithms, why certain data are appropriate or not appropriate for what you're doing, etc., you need to be able to construct and follow an argument like that. The next thing he said was the ability to challenge someone else's idea, but in a professional and non-threatening manner. So if someone had a theory, he could listen to that theory, provide criticisms about that theory, but do so in a way that was uh, attacking the argument without getting personal and without getting passionate about it, without raising his voice, without judging, but still providing a critique to try to strengthen the argument of the person he was challenging rather than attacking, but rather getting into the guts of the argument and trying to make it stronger. And then the final thing he mentioned was kind of conversely, whenever he was presenting an argument and people would start challenging his argument, the ability to accept that against the argument and not against himself, so that he wouldn't feel the need to be defensive, that he's presenting these ideas and he's going out on a limb with some of these ideas because you're trying to think of ways to do things differently to make things better. And of course, things are the way they are for reasons. And so when you're trying to change them, in addition to change generally being difficult for humans, the idea that the way someone else is working, the way someone else is solving problems, and you're presenting something different, you should expect that level of challenge. But on both sides, whether you're challenging someone else's idea or they're challenging yours, you should be able to divorce kind of arguments made against your idea or against the discussion topic versus taking things personally. And I found this very true in business. I tend to work on the concept of you check your ego at the door and you discuss whatever you're discussing. Everything should be about the argument. And in fact, if someone ever does get personal, that means they've lost because they've just run into a case where they can no longer refute your argument. And so they're going to resort to personal attacks in order to win or lose. So, for example, I see this in politics all the time when both sides tend to attack each other rather than talking about issues. And in my opinion, that just means they lose and they have nothing else to say. Uh, I've heard it in mathematics. There's the the Hitler argument, which says that eventually, if arguments go on long enough, someone will invoke Hitler, and the corollary is whoever invokes Hitler has just lost the argument. So those are my thoughts on kind of how theology or the study of theology has relationships to data analytics. Again, it might seem a little odd. So the kind of takeaway I have from this is if you have friends that aren't in analytics, to try to ask them what soft skills have they learned, What learnings do they have, not in terms of the facts, but how do they think about problems? How do they approach problems? And what learnings do they have from that that maybe you can apply in your role? I'd love to hear your thoughts on that, especially if you're not in data analytics, but if you're in some other field entirely. What are the soft learnings you've had? How do you practice them? And if you do work with data analytics, if you do work, sorry, not with data analytics, but if you work with data analysts, what do you wish they knew that you understand? Thank you for watching. Bye.